Hello, this is Jim Lapbap. Everything is written out and time code in the info. So if you don't like these long descriptions and you just want to get right to it, click in the more info. Everything is there. And away we go.
You can have Jim Lapbap.
Hello, this is Jim Lapbap and I'm going to do a little Sibelius tutorial. This is how to use virtual instruments in Sibelius without needing a sound set. It will not cover how to notate the sounds properly. This is just how to get it to play back in Sibelius. Sibelius does not actually save your sound set with the file. You have to save it completely differently. If you have a setup that's unique to your file, you have to create a completely new setup. If you use a digital audio workstation, it just saves what the playback you have set up. But in Sibelius, you have to do it separately. I'm going to show you how to do this. And it's a little trickier because if you use other programs like Finale or Dorico, it's a little bit easier to set it up because it saves it, but in Sibelius you have to save it separately. Throw some instruments up there. Let's, flute, oops, not descant recorder. Flute, oboe, clarinet, bassoon, horn. Let's just put everything. Let's just do it like a timpani with key drum set. We're gonna put a lot of stuff up here. So piano, strings. Let's do string section. Oh, viola. Oops. Sorry, viola. Okay, this is a pretty big group here. So here is my full setup. Now I'm on Sibelius Sounds, so it's loading my Sibelius Sounds. So right now it's in Sibelius Sounds. So that's the Sibelius sound. But if you want Kontakt, what you have to do is you have to go to Play and this little tiny purple thing that's kind of hard to find, Playback Devices, and you have to click New. So we're going to do Kontakt, and it's not just Kontakt. This is a very specific ensemble, so we're going to call this the Jim Lapbap Orchestra. So it's a very specific thing, and it's not going to use Sibelius Player. It's going to use Kontakt font. So you deactivate Sibelius and you find Kontakt. You have to make sure Kontakt is installed. And since I have a lot of instruments, I'm going to do 2 of them. I'm going to do 2 because if you have more than 16, this is not about sound sets. This is just about getting it set up and so that it will play back properly. So now Kontakt is open. It'll say, do you want to save the changes? Sure. Now keep in mind, you're going to have to go back and save it again. So now Kontakt has these little cogs, but these right now they are completely unallocated. So here, you click Auto, and now you have to look at these slots. There's 17, so one of these is the second group. Violin 2, here's your slot 1, Kontakt 2. You have 17 instruments in one strip, and then you have 1 instrument in the other. Now, if you look at this, you'll see that the piano is in slot 1. So you have to put the piano in first. I'm going to be using Kontakt's factory library. If you have to have the slot is the MIDI channel. So Concert Grand, I'm going to make that first. Then we go in order. It'll fill in the MIDI channel here. This channel here has to match this slot here. Flute, oboe, clarinet, bassoon, group and brass, horn, trumpet, trombone, tuba, and its drum set is 10. This is the old MIDI configuration where drum sets were usually put in channel 10. We'll see how that turns out. It gave me groups. Maybe Sibelius will play it correctly. So slot 11, timpani, xylophone is 12. We already have piano covered. 13 is violin 1. 14 we have to skip over to viola, cello, bass. So now all of these should be loaded properly. We have 1 straggler here in the second playback device, so we have to put violin 2 into the second group. Make sure everything's here. So yeah, okay, that sounds good. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, the percussion's playing there. That's interesting. Oh boy, percussion is doing this. Percussion is taking over everything. drum set is going to be correct. Violin 2. There's okay. We need to create a new, anything that has groups in that you need to give its own Kontakt player. We'll add one. Hopefully it put everything in the same one. But instead we're going to take the drums and put it into Kontakt 3. Yeah, everything is the same, but drums are in Kontakt 3. So we got to take drums out of this. And so 10 will be empty in this group. And we're going to put the drum set in here. Okay, and there shouldn't be a drum. Yeah, there's no drum hanging out. And the drum set should be by itself. Yeah. To anything with a group, it needs its own playback engine. Now, this is where I lost all of this work. Now that you have this set up, you have to go back to your configuration and hit save. Because if you don't do this and you close and you quit Sibelius and open it, these 3 channel strips will open up empty. They will be completely empty. So you have to click save. And every time you change the instruments or change the things, you have to click save. And if you have a new file and you change the instruments, you have to do new. A new one means it copies this current setup. Save. This is very important right here. My brilliant masterpiece. Thank you. That is all for today.
You can have Jim Lap Bap.